What if I told you the same corporation selling you sugar-loaded poison were also billing you for the treatment? What if I told you the government approving chemical dyes in your food was the same government rationing your health care? Well, tonight something just broke wide open. 18 states moved simultaneously. The nation's largest retailer just caved. I'm talking Walmart. And the healthcare subsidy lifeline just got cut. The machine that made Americans sick for profit is cracking. What's coming next is going to change everything. Now, here's what's at stake, though. For decades, the American people have been caught in a trap. The food supply was engineered to make you sick. The healthcare system was designed to keep you dependent, and the welfare state subsidized the poison while billing you for the cure. One family with 5 kids earning $2,600 a month was just quoted $1,700 for the cheapest Obamacare plan available, with a $17,000 deductible. That's not insurance. That's financial destruction disguised as compassion. And Speaker Johnson just confirmed there will be no vote to extend those ACA subsidies. The scaffolding's gone. Meanwhile, Steve Scalise is calling out Democrats for shoveling billions into health insurance companies, more of them, instead of families. The system was not broken by accident. It was designed to fail upward, and now it's collapsing under its own weight. And as we wrap up 2025, it's a good time to slow down and reflect on the year. If there's one thing we've all learned, it's that uncertainty isn't temporary. It's the world we live in now. Waiting for things to go back to normal is not the plan. It's a gamble. For over a decade, my friends at Noble Gold Investments, they've helped Americans protect themselves and the people they love by diversifying their wealth with gold and silver. Look, nobody knows what 2026 will bring, but there is one thing that is for sure. In an uncertain world, real wealth isn't digital, it's physical, and it's lasting, but it's yours. So when you're sitting around the table this holiday season, surrounded by family, remember the best gift you can give is not under the tree, it's peace of mind. And that's what Noble Gold delivers. Peace of mind, 1 ounce at a time. So before the year ends, take one smart step towards a safer future. Visit nextnewsgold.com. Get your free wealth protection kit today. That's nextnewsgold.com. Don't leave your future to chance. If you want one of these beautiful silver coins, silver is skyrocketing right now, over $60 an ounce. You can get 10 of these if you qualify for one of their accounts. So check it out. Call the number 877-646-5347, and we thank them for sponsoring the show. But here's where it gets even bigger. We have Tom McCullough standing by at the White House. And this is about SNAP junk food. The bans are spreading across 18 states. America's largest food retailer just read the writing on the wall. Walmart is purging artificial dyes from its in-house brands. Now, I know we covered this before. It was a big announcement. But this time, now we're talking about the implementation, the rollout, the infrastructure is there. And now the real change is going to happen. Did you know vegetable juice is in? That's what they're going to do. Red 40 is out. And by January 2027, all great value products will be free of synthetic dyes and 30% of additives. They admit that 90% are already dye-free. So the obvious question is the most damning one. If this was always possible, why were Americans ever fed the garbage in the first place? Well, the answer is simple. It's profit control and chemical dependency. And Walmart didn't move out of kindness, as they claim. They moved because the MAHA movement made it unavoidable. Now, we're going to go and check in with Tom, standing by at the White House with his report.
Hey guys, Tom McCullough, White House correspondent for the Next News Network, and this story marks a real turning point for America. And for decades, Americans have been told that brightly colored, chemically loaded food was just normal. This was just the cost of modern life. Under the Trump administration, that mindset is being aggressively challenged. And this week, Walmart announced it will remove synthetic food dyes and more than 30 artificial ingredients from its store brand products by 2027. And let's be clear about why this is happening. It's not because of a new regulation buried in the federal registrar. It's because the Trump administration, alongside Health and Human Services Secretary Bobby Kennedy Jr., is pushing one clear message: that food should be food again.
So the nation's biggest retailer embracing the MAHA movement, Walmart, currently working on making its store brand food free of food dyes and 30 other ingredients. From Bentonville, Arkansas, the headquarters for Walmart, Fox Business' Kelly Saberi is looking at that. What'd you find out, Kelly?
Hi, Bill. Welcome to Walmart's Culinary Innovation Center. This new building is 23,000 square feet where food scientists, chefs, and people like you and me taste test these foods. Now, this is a massive undertaking as the nation's biggest grocer, and each of these products has its own unique challenges. Take candy, for example. Not only are they taking out the colors of the original product, but they're also working out both the taste and texture, which we know is equally as important. And it's one of their top-selling categories. So let's take the sour worms, for example. They have titanium dioxide in them, and now they'll take that out, which removes that pop of neon. New versions use things like spirulina and turmeric for the color, and if you can believe it, I think the new version actually tastes better than the original. So I asked, how will Walmart, such a big company present in 9 out of 10 homes, change the way Americans eat? They tell me their decisions are dictated by the consumer, not the other way around.
Customers are turning over.
Dictated by the consumer, he says. Yeah, really? Really? No. Because RFK Jr. told you what's up. That's why it's happening. Because the MAHA movement rose up and said, we're done with this. Demanded change. President Trump won the election. Appointed RFK Jr. Boom! Walmart bends the knee. That's why.
Over that package.
So don't sugarcoat this for me. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
That bag or looking digitally at those ingredients more than they ever have. More than half of the customers are actually very in tune and looking at those ingredient labels. And they wanted simplicity, they wanted transparency, and they wanted things they could pronounce and that they understood.
The part that I found most fascinating is the idea that they're aiming to keep their costs exactly the same. 70% of their portfolio is priced under $5. And all of this feels especially important as we round out the holidays this month. There are so many things that we need to entertain. And right now, 90% of their fleet of products already has this dye-free promise. Now, what's going to happen with the rest of the products? By January of 2027, Walmart says they will have this promise finished and ready for their consumers.
Oh, okay. All right. Changing times indeed. Thank you. Good to have you there. Thank you, Kelly. Walmart there in Arkansas. Thanks.
And RFK Jr. has been relentless. He's called out petroleum-based dyes, chemical additives, and lab-created additives that were never meant to be consumed daily, especially by children. His position is simple and unapologetic, that Americans should not be eating fake chemicals disguised as food. And under President Trump's second term, that philosophy is no longer fringe, it is a policy direction. Instead of protecting big food lobbyists, this administration is putting pressure where it belongs on transparency, truth, and accountability. RFK Jr. has made it clear that Americans deserve to know what they're eating, why it's there, and whether it belongs in the human body at all. I mean, pretty basic stuff that we all should think would be front of mind for all of them people. But Walmart's move is direct response to the cultural shift. When the largest grocery retailer in the country starts reformulating products without raising prices, it signals something bigger is happening. The era of quietly poisoning the food supply is ending. And synthetic dyes like Red 40, Yellow 5, and Blue 1 have been banned or labeled with warnings in other countries for years. Yet in the United States, families were told not to worry about it. But that's changing now, not through mandates, but through leadership. And President Trump has repeatedly said that America must rebuild its strength from the inside out, and that includes health. A nation that eats chemicals cannot stay strong, and a nation that feeds children fake food cannot lead the world. And RFK Jr.'s message is resonating because it cuts through politics. This isn't left versus right. This is real food versus fake food. And Americans are paying attention. So Walmart says most shoppers now read ingredient labels, and that's not an accident. That's a result of sustained pressure from an administration willing to confront the industries that grew comfortable cutting corners. I mean, how much stuff have we eaten, guys? It's so scary. I mean, food should nourish, not harm. It should fuel families, not create lifelong health problems. And this is what leadership looks like. America is being told the truth again. Food should be food. And under President Trump and RFK Jr., America is finally moving back in that direction. Again, guys, Tom McCullough reporting from the White House for the Next News Network. God bless.
God bless you, Tom. Thank you for that report. And with respect to RFK Jr.'s, another victory for the man. Big news for South Carolina. SNAP benefits can no longer be used to buy candy, soda, energy drinks, or other sugary beverages starting in 2026. Oh, there's going to be some pissed off fatties. The USDA approved waiver aims to promote healthier choices and tackle high obesity rates Common sense move to make taxpayer dollars go towards real nutrition. Oh, and on the Obamacare front, yep, Obamacare is dying. A very slow and painful death for a lot of people. Some cases, literally. Speaker Johnson says there will not be a vote on extending the ACA subsidies. Remember that was one of the stipulations to get the government reopened? We need to have a talk about Obamacare subsidies. We need to get the extensions. Oh, okay, fine. We'll talk about it afterwards. Okay, we talked about it. Nah, we're not going to do it. But remember, we have another government shutdown looming next month. So this whole thing is going to happen all over again. Let's listen to the speaker.
For all of their...
Thank you, Mr. Leader. This morning, Congressman Mike Lawler said that it was political malpractice to not allow a vote on the ACA subsidy extension this week. What's your reaction to that? And will Republicans suffer any political blowback for not allowing something like that to come to the moderates?
Well, Mike Lawler is a very dear friend and a close colleague of mine. And ironically, weekend before last, I was in New York in his district on Long Island, and we were campaigning together, ensuring that he gets reelected. Mike Lawler fights hard for New York, as every Republican in this conference does for their districts. The districts are different. They have different priorities and ideas, but we do have, there's about a dozen members in the conference that are in these swing districts who are fighting hard to make sure that they reduce costs for all of their constituents. And many of them did want to vote on this Obamacare, COVID era subsidy the Democrats created. We looked for a way to try to allow for that pressure release valve, and it just was not to be. We worked on it all the way through the weekend, in fact, and in the end, there was not an agreement wasn't made. Now, everybody was at the table in good faith, and I certainly appreciate the views and the opinions of every member of this conference. But I will tell you one thing they will all join in unity on is voting for this bill that we've been discussing this morning, because, again, instead of just trying to assist 7% of Americans, this is for 100% of Americans, and we can handle that and do that together. I hope that Democrats will come along with us. If they're serious about solving the problem and bringing down cost of health care, they'll all fully support it as well. But I think you're going to see they're playing politics with this.
Of course they're going to play politics with it. That's what they do. Leverage, remember? Here, an American family, 5 kids. She makes $2,600 a month after taxes. The cheapest option she could get for health insurance from the Affordable Care Act marketplace, $1,700 a month, $17,000 deductible. Barack Obama destroyed our healthcare system, but I will add, he also destroyed our nation.
My husband recently lost his job, and he was the one that carried insurance. So we thought, since it's enrollment time, let's look at me carrying insurance, all right? We have the 2 of us, and we have our 5 kids, so it's going to be a family plan. Now, I make $2,600 a month after taxes. $2,600. And insurance was $1,100 a month. Now, I understand this is all pre-tax and stuff, so maybe I'll have $1,800 a month after they take out insurance, for our 5 kids. And you'd say, well, go on Snap. Anyway, so I thought, you know what? Let's go look at the ACA options. Maybe there's some good ones out there. $1,600 a month for a $17,000 deductible. And they will only pay 50% after I meet that deductible. So I'm thinking we're just going to go die. My husband recently lost his job, and he was the one that carried insurance. So we thought...
That's what she just said, Jar Jar. She says she's just going to go and die instead. That is where Americans are. They are at the end of their rope. And they can't afford this Obamacare. It's supposed to be affordable. Affordable what? The Democrat solution to skyrocketing premiums, Steve Scalise writes, is to send more billions to insurance companies.
For tomorrow. We've been working for a long time to lower premiums for all Americans, 100% of families across America. Democrats, as you know, have only been focused on trying to give big bailouts to insurance companies dealing with 7% of Americans. So big difference between the two sides. What we're going to be bringing to the House floor tomorrow, on the floor on Wednesday, is the Lower Premiums Act. This is a bill to lower health care premiums for all Americans. It's going to be focused on things like association health plans, the Choice Act, which is a way to use health savings accounts so that employers can work with their employees and give them better options for lower premium health care plans. We do what's called cost share reductions, and it's basically a term up here in Washington to lower premiums for everybody in Obamacare. We've been working for a long time to lower premiums for all Americans.
All Americans deserve it. And that's the conversation we need to have now. Call it Trump care. Let's just crush it and rebuild it. Let's just call it Trump care. That's my opinion. 18 states banning SNAP from being used on junk food. Another MAHA victory for Trump. 18 states, Caroline Leavitt writes, banning junk food. No more junk food in SNAP. 18 states. Everyone's talking about it. Hopefully, Walmart will become a trendsetter, one user writes, for other big box stores to follow suit on this MAHA movement. People grateful for what Walmart is taking the lead on. MAHA scoring a major win as America's biggest food retailer purges all artificial dyes. Walmart states that by January 2027, all products, including Great Value brand, will be free of dyes. Check out this guy.
And Walmart says, breaking news, Walmart just announced a huge change that will impact millions of families. By January 2027, the nation's largest retailer will remove all artificial food dyes and nearly 30 additives from its store brand products, including Great Value. That's more than 1,000 items going completely dye-free, and Walmart says 90% are already there. This move follows Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s MAHA initiative, which ordered the FDA to phase out dyes nationwide by 2027. Studies have linked synthetic dyes to health risks, including hyperactivity in children, sparking years of pressure from parents and advocates for cleaner food. For shoppers, it means snacks, drinks, and everyday foods at Walmart will soon be healthier and safer. Advocates are calling it a major public health win, and experts believe other grocery chains may soon follow Walmart's lead. By 2027, Walmart won't just be ready, they'll be leading the way toward a healthier future for American families.
Who else have we got here in the list? We have this guy, MAHA victory, countless food and drink items spotted fully free of artificial dyes.
It is Check out what I just found at Walmart. Cherry Dr. Pepper has finally gotten rid of Red 40. It is completely artificial dye-free. These Nestle Toll House Santa's cookies are also artificial dye-free and are using vegetable juice for color. And right next to those, these peppermint cocoa cookies are also artificial dye-free, just in time for the holidays. Check out what I just found at Walmart.
So this is the most important thing we can celebrate right now. We're going to make America healthy again. 3 pillars are falling at once: subsidized junk food, corporatized healthcare, and chemically engineered diets. When those collapse together, the entire profit architecture of sickness collapses with them. For decades, Americans were fed poison, billed for treatment, subsidized for dependency, and they were told it was freedom. Well, now the receipts are out. The states are revolting, the retailers are retreating, and the old system knows its time is running out. So what you just witnessed is not reform. This is exposure. The dam is cracked and the MAHA movement is advancing. 18 states are cutting junk food off the welfare pipeline. Walmart is stripping chemical dyes from shelves. Obamacare subsidies are dead. And a family of 5 just learned that $1,700 a month buys them nothing but a $17,000 wall between them and actual care.
You said people are going to die?
Yes, Jar Jar. This was never about health. It was about harvesting sick Americans for profit. The same machine that's selling sugar water was billing you for the insulin. The same government approving dyes was rationing treatment, and the same corporations profiting from illness were writing the rules. And now that pipeline is being severed. Bobby Kennedy and President Trump are forcing a systemic reset that the establishment swore would never happen. So here's my question for the chat. Should SNAP be permanently banned from covering junk food nationwide? Who do you think is going to be the most affected? Let's have a conversation. And don't forget to check out our merch shop, linked in the description.